Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to No Nonsense Forex Trading from iSmart Signaler. In this video we're going to look at setting up your automated terminal startups in case your VPS experiences an unexpected shutdown and it starts up by itself. So we want to get all terminals up and running, or maybe if you have done a reboot, an upgrade of your VPS server, Windows for instance, and you have started it up. So you might like to have all your terminals up and running immediately, just in case there are some trades running and you might have expert advisors on them. So let's look at it. What we're going to do generally is actually simply to create a batch file and then have that placed in your startup folder. So I've copied one and brought in from another VPS. It's just lying here. I'm just going to use this for educational purposes. Now, if you see here, I'm not going to do this auto startup for these two terminals because I have some settings running here already. So imagine that they are not here. We're going to just work on this 4 terminals, and it's going to be BBM 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yeah. Right. This doesn't stand valid because it's for some other VPS. But we're going to edit this. Now what you got to do is open Notepad and get these things written out as you see it here, and I'll show you how to do it. Basically what you ought to do is, that's the command. Just gonna cut and paste so you could see it clearly. Start one followed by the terminal location, and then we're gonna ping. We'll keep that the same. It's just 3 seconds. Every 3 seconds it's going to start up and it's going to ping, and it's going to start up a terminal. Now these are the basic codes. So what you ought to do is put the terminals and name them 1, 2, 3, 4 like so, and let me give some space so we can play around. Right, we're going to do BBM 2, 3, 4, and 5. For convenience sake, let me drag it down here. Right, so you've seen the earlier video how we set these up. So it's very simple. Just go to BBM 2 for instance, go to properties. There you got that terminal. Just copy that, insert it in here with a space. So that's where the terminal for BBM 2 is. Right, now follow the same. We can take this off. Why don't we use things that are already there? It's easy. I'll bring this up. Now we're gonna do the next one. Take that terminal off. We don't need that. Cancel. Okay, now we do 3. Properties. Copy. And paste it here. So you got terminal 3. Likewise we do the other 2. Terminal 4. Right, and this one. So we don't need the rest. We could take that off, and we clear this too. Right, the last terminal, 5. Okay, so we got 2, 3, 4, 5. All you need to do is save it in a location where of your choice. I'm going to save it. Save as I've got a location here. Terminals auto startup. I've opened the folder, so just start terminals. Let's save it with a .bat. Remember, we need it to be saved as a batch file. The .bat. Okay. So let's go. I'm going to remove this. This doesn't mean anything anymore because that's not for this system. Right. Let's go to start. Here you are. Terminals auto startup. It's already in here. I could then send it to I'll copy it and paste it to the desktop. I've got it here. Right. Let's look at something. If I were to click this, double click, it's going to start opening up all these terminals one by one. Let's test it. You see? That has come up. That's come up. The next one. And the next one. And of course, these are all dumb terminals in the sense that we have no accounts set up yet, so I'm not going to do it. If you have your accounts, you will of course get into your account and automatically log you in. It's just for sure now. Right, we've got all the 4 terminals up just with the batch command. Right, now I'm going to close this. I'm going to go back to the desktop. Now what we're going to do is this is how you could do it. If you have your VPS started up, for example, you did a reboot and you got your VPS started up. Now you want to start all your terminals. You could just double click on the batch file that to kickstart all the terminals, and it will just start automatically. Right. But the other one is if you want to have it automatically started up when the VPS reboots. Right, so look for your startup folder. This is a Windows 2016 server, so sometimes the startup folders are in you got to look for it. If it's a Windows 10, it might be in a different location, but the variance is not that much. Anyway, where the startup folder is for this server, if I'm not mistaken, it's in the C, users, administrator, app data. In order to get this, you got to have hidden items ticked for visibility. By the time you get to this, you probably end up being 80 years old. Roaming, Microsoft, jeez man, Windows, start menu, programs, startup. But that's a folder. It's empty now currently. So what we need to do is copy this, load it up here, and you've got it done. Now this is a startup shortcut icon from the other server. I'm going to delete it because it's not going to have any association. It was just meant for this video to show you. So I've got it done. Now this is where I send it to the desktop if I need it. It's not necessary because it's already in my start menu, right? So with this in the startup folder, in the program startup folder, in the start menu, anytime when you reboot your server, if your server does a shutdown and starts up automatically, it's going to be one of the start programs, and it will start all the terminals in the batch file just like it did so earlier. You could give this a test run because by manually clicking it, it's the same like clicking this. Let's do it. Here you are. So you get all those terminals running, huh? So it's very simple. Get this sorted out and set up in your VPSs, because it's kind of necessary. You either want to do it with your startup, with the automatic start of the terminal, or the VPS, or oh jeez, you can't close this, or leave it as an icon in the desktop, whereby you can initiate it yourself after the VPS is booted up, right, like this. So it's up to you to decide whether you want to have it automatically up in the startup or to be initiated manually. There are servers where we have such an arrangement and not this, because we don't need terminals to kick up automatically. But there are also terminals, VPSs, where we have automated startups for our terminals. Yeah. So that ends this video. In fact, you've got videos on how to set multiple terminals, and now how to auto boot all your terminals whenever it's required by a simple batch command. Go ahead, give it a try, and we will come up with more videos. But there's something important for all traders. Their Windows servers, whether it's your PC or your VPS, there are certain little snags and bottlenecks to overcome, because as you know, when you hire VPS servers or you rent them out, the specifications, the higher you go in your specs, it can be real pricey, but you don't need that much of memory if you know how to handle it and do the settings. Now we have set up complete tutorial information on how to do this. I think there are more than 70 over slides to set up your computer and your VPS to make sure that you're running with the best memory and with the best speed. It will be loaded up either in Udemy or on our website. It'll be available, but it'd be good to look at it. So either subscribe or sign in and join us as a member, and you'll be updated of this pretty soon. Well, thanks for watching. Bye for now.